If you guys are looking to start a transportation business and you're trying to figure out what the best vehicle is to start off with this, that's what I'm going over today. Today I'm gonna be going over cargo vans, box trucks, and truck tractors, running through the upfront cost, long-term profitability, regulations, and potential growth for these three. Obviously, there's quite a bit of difference between these. New cargo van costs maybe $60,000. New semi truck's about 250,000. So quite a bit different here. Um, but the upfront costs, right? So obviously it's going to be a lot cheaper with the cargo van, and it's really just going to go up to us with a truck tractor. Costs are going to wildly vary. Insurance not going to be as much. It's going to depend on your credit, your driving history, your stuff like that. But really, if you're a cargo van, you're gonna be looking for probably 15,000 a year for a new cargo van, possibly 10 if you're in a cheaper state. Box truck, it's gonna be probably about 18 to 23. Truck tractor, anywhere from probably 18 to 25. Um, it really plays on state. I've seen guys with truck tractors quite a bit cheaper than a box truck because they got a lot more CDL experience than a cheaper state, but obviously that can be vice versa pretty easily too. Truck tractors are always going to be more expensive. Um, Buying the vehicle. So you're buying a cargo van. You can buy a brand new cargo van, like I just said, for $60,000. Probably spend anywhere from 30 to 50 right up front there. And then box truck, yeah, a lot of people are going to be renting box trucks. I don't recommend renting a box truck. You need 3 to 6 months money stored aside. You're going to be spending a ton more money on renting. If you're going high on miles, you're going to burn through the cash. And on top of that, your insurance is actually quite a bit more if you rent. A lot of people do not know that. Semi trucks, yeah, it depends on what you buy. I've seen somebody come along with a $20,000 semi truck. I've seen somebody with a $300,000 semi truck. I'm in insurance, so I deal with this stuff quite a bit, and my family was in transportation, so that's the upfront cost. Obviously, it's like a fourth get into cargo van, but let's get to the next part here: the long-term profitability and the rate per mile. So this is really going to depend on the market, right? When my father was trucking during COVID times, he'd get minimum $4 a mile. Uh, Most of the time he was trucking, right? So you can get $4, $5 a mile. Now with semi trucks, you're probably looking at anywhere from two, if you're sitting pretty good, three. Really depends on how established you are, right? You get a contract. I know some contract guys get $6 a mile. That's not the true mile. And then if you're starting off, yeah, there are guys taking loads for a buck 20 right now. And then obviously it's going to go quite a bit down here with the cargo vans. Um, Here's the thing though, too, your profit margin is going to be quite a bit higher. Um, with apparently with the research that I've seen with the cheaper trucks, at least starting off. So you get a cargo van, you get a lot less expenses with the vehicle itself, fewer maintenance or less maintenance, less miles being put on it, and the other thing too is a lot less expensive to run. So a little bit higher profit margin from what I'm seeing there. Regulations obviously going to be quite a bit different here, right? So um, you got a cargo van, you don't need a CDL, you don't need a DOT. You can run under five people's DOT if you want. So you can go pick up stuff, doing final mile delivery if that's what you want to. I'll get into this later here, but the main thing is going to be scalability, right? So that's what you're looking at there. Box trucks, yeah, you don't need a CDL if it's under 26,000 pounds. You obviously do need a DOT number if you're crossing state lines. You need an MC number. Semi truck, you need a CDL. You got all this regulation. You need the DOT. You need the MC number. I mean, all that stuff is pretty obvious. If you're going to get into trucking with a truck tractor, definitely don't start off if you don't do your CDL. Go get a minimum to your CDL starting off. So if you're an experienced, you're looking to grow on your own, you're looking to make the most money long term, it's kind of pointing in the direction of truck tractors be the best here. And let's say you're someone in my position, you're young, you don't have any CEO experience, you're wanting to just get started and hustle here. Maybe it's cargo van, and this is where box trucks kind of come in between, right? So leading into my next thing here is going to be the growth and long term potential. So there is a high demand for last mile delivery. It's fueled by the e-commerce. It's obviously Amazon. You get all type of stuff. You can easily scale and get this thing rolling. Now contracts and the revenue coming in is going to be a lot less. It's a lot harder. You don't see a ton of huge cargo van fleets remotely compared to guys like you see the truck tractors, right? The revenue is much greater with truck tractors. And again, I'm just kind of hitting cargo vans and box and truck tractors. Box trucks are really just in between here. Um, Honestly, box trucks are very common because everyone wants to go freaking rent a box truck, get in with no money down, and probably start with the cargo van or kind of start in the in between option where they should be doing a cargo van or go work for somebody else and be an employee or a lease driver or something along those lines. But for God's sake, don't go rent a box truck and get into trucking because um, it's extremely risky. You obviously don't have a whole lot of money set aside, or most of the guys don't. Your insurance is going to be higher. Usually, again, you're doing it because you got less money set aside and less experience. You need 3 to 6 months money set aside and go work for somebody else before you know how it runs. I repeat myself there, but that's how it is. So, what really is the best option here? Um, Depends on where you're at and where you want to be. So, if you're someone who's like, I don't plan on hiring a ton of drivers, I want this to be a myself type of deal. I want to make as much money with as little money now. Cargo van, all day, every day. If you're looking to be a big fleet, you have worked for somebody else, you understand the business in and out. Go start a trucking company with a truck tractor, get into general freight, build your way up to the more risky type of commodities you're hauling. Box truck, those are going to be good if you're a household good mover, if you're anything on those lines. Or if you just like, I don't have a ton of experience, I don't have a CDL, I've got some experience doing this. I don't have as much money saved up, but you got enough for 3 to 6 months of operating expenses of a box truck. It really is wherever you're at. All I'm gonna say is don't get into something that you're not certain of, or that you don't have the money, you don't have the resources lined up. Start small, build your way up, or go work for somebody else and build your way up. That's what I'd say. I didn't cover hot shots here. Hot shots, another great option. I think they kind of fall somewhere along the box truck. Obviously, you got a pickup truck, similar startup costs, higher margin, but obviously lower revenue than or than the semi truck. So that's where I'm at, guys. With Nelson Insurance Agency, I work with a ton of guys doing this stuff. I mean, I got at least 60 cargo van guys. I insure fleets of semi trucks, and then I I work with box truck guys every single week who are renting their truck, and I have to tell them their only option is Progressive and Berkshire and Geico. So they got 3 options instead of 30 because they're renting that box truck. And two, another thing I will say is pay per mile insurance. If you're sticking local with any of this stuff, you're gonna be dirt freaking cheap. I can get guys for around 20,000. They're normally paying 25,000 for like box truck or semis. I'm usually coming in $5,000 lower. If you're sticking local, you're driving 50, 60, maybe 70,000 miles a year. You're coming at 15,000. Your down payment's lower, helps your starter cost a ton. So Again, if you guys got any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm Hunter with Nelson Insurance. Um, Website's in the bio. My contact information is in the bio. So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know if you have any questions.